From the OPUBCO studios at Britton and Broadway, this is OU Basketball with David Ubben. I'm Jenni Carlson. David, OU's already had a couple games that count on their schedule. We've already seen the freshmen have been pretty important for this Sooner team. What can we expect from this group?
Well, I think they're capable of having some big games. Tiny Gallon in his first game had 18 points and 15 boards. I think you're going to see a few more games like that out of him. Tommy Mason Griffin, he's a new point guard. He's walked into a starting role. He's been kind of sporadic during the games. He'll make a fantastic pass 1 minute and then make a little bit of a questionable turnover the next. And then we've had guys like Andrew Fitzgerald, who in the first game, he looked like he was going to challenge Ryan Wright for a starting position. And then in their second game, he played 8 minutes. I think he had 1 rebound, and he really just looked lost. So like most freshmen, they're going to be all over the place at times. But at the same time, all those 4 guys between Gallon and Mason Griffin and then also Stephen Pledger, who's shot the ball really well, they're going to show some really positive things as the year goes on.
A guy that is no newcomer to the program but is going to be counted on a lot this year is Willie Warren. What have you seen out of him in terms of improvement from that freshman year a year ago to now being a sophomore and the leader on this team?
Well, Jeff Cable talked about when Willie came into this program, he had that reputation as being a little bit of a selfish player, a little bit of a me-first player. And he's distanced himself from that, playing with Blake last year. And now this year, he's doing whatever it takes to win. In their first game when they played Mount St. Mary's gave him kind of the Steph Curry treatment where they were doubling him everywhere he went. And he got a lot of easy assists, and he walked out there with just 15 points and 11 assists, but they won by almost 25. So that he knows that he trusts these new freshmen. He trusts Ryan Wright. He trusts the guys he's playing around, and he seems to enjoy playing with those guys. And he's played with Tiny and Tommy. He's known them since 5th and 6th grade. He knows what they're capable of. And I think that was big, that Capel brings in not only talented players, but talented players that Willie trusts and Willie's played with and knows and doesn't have to learn how to play with.
I mentioned a little bit ago that 2 games under the belt already for this team, but not really games that you're going to learn much about this team from. That's not the case coming up. Talk about this upcoming schedule, what the Sooners have coming up, and what we might learn from those games coming up.
Well, they traveled to VCU this weekend. It'll be a nice homecoming for Coach Capel. He's talked about how he's really excited, and there's not a whole lot of negative emotions from him. But then they go to Alaska, play in the Great Alaska Shootout, and then they come home for a nice little home stretch. They'll play Arkansas at home, they'll play Arizona at home, and then they get Centenary the week after that. And so not teams that they're going to be outmanned against. They're not going to face a whole lot of those this year, but teams that will be talented and they can kind of measure themselves up against. And they've got a nice matchup toward the end of the month. They play at Utah, at Gonzaga on New Year's Eve. So the non-conference schedule has some interesting matchups that you're going to get to learn a little bit about this team. But I don't think you're really going to know how good they are until conference play starts and they start matching up with the Iowa States and Kansases and Texases of this league.
All right. Thanks, David. Stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.